Everybody, welcome. Today is a combination of things on the mat and also with the chair. I'll try to give different things you can do, alternatives. We'll have your hand towel rolled up, which is good. All right, and today, let's start standing today, actually. If you need your chair for balance, you feel free to hold on to it. Yeah. So just plant your feet down, heels underneath your sit bones, knees and feet about a fist distance apart. Okay, and just notice where you are on your feet. Ground through. All the way through your toes, so spread your toes out. Take your weight a little bit back into your heel, so you feel some grounding through the heel. That's it. And you might feel the muscles in the front of your legs come on when you do that. And then go forward, so you're swaying forward onto the ball of the feet without your heel coming off. That's it, and feel the muscles that engage or catch you from falling over. And then tip back towards your heels. And your tips of your toes may come off, but you're not trying to lift them off. And swaying forward and back, like a tree. So your legs are nice and strong. Imagine that there's roots going from your feet down into the earth. Good, good. And then back. That's it. Forward and back. Good. Now we're going to sway right and left. So we're just going a little bit one way, and then back through the center and the other way. And just put your awareness into your torso, into your tummy, and just notice what muscles engage to help you try to prevent falling over to one side or the other. That's it. And then we're going to go in a circle. So go to one side, to the right, then go towards the toes, go over to the other side, and then back towards the heels. Go 3 more circles that direction. And then the other direction. So sideways, front, sideways, back to the heel. One more that direction, and then we'll balance in the middle. That's it. Good. Now you're going to bend your right knee and just let your hip go out. Your feet stay flat on the ground. That's it. Good. And you can put your hands on your hips, on your waist, wherever they're comfortable, have them hanging down, whatever feels good for you. It's just a gentle stretch. You're not trying to pop your hip out. It's just a little bit of a hanging into that hip, then come to the middle, lift everything up the center, and then bend the other knee and let that hip go out the other direction. And imagine your pelvis is like a bowl. So we go up the middle, the water is balanced in the center, and then we bend the other knee and we tip a little bit, and the water might fall out a little bit on the other side. Yeah. And up the center, straight, and then the other way. And up the middle, and then the other side. Good. And up, and the other way. Good. Back to the middle. Good. Now we're going to lift the heel up. So we're going to lift the right heel up first. So the right heel lifts up. So imagine your legs are on more of a train track rather than a tightrope. Then put that heel down, and then the other heel up. Good. And back down and continue through. I'm just going to let somebody else in. There we go. Good. And keep alternating sides. So. And then one more each side. Last one. Now we're going to go through the heel's going to lift. You want to draw up, front, back, outside, inside of that leg. As you lift that leg up, again, hold onto your chair if you need to have it beside you, okay? If this is too much, you can always do all of these exercises sitting down, okay? Like we've done in the past, and then back down. Then you're going to alternate to the other side. So going and then up. Think midline. So this inner thigh in line with the nose and the belly button, and then back down through the feet. Sit down if standing up is just a bit too much for you. And then the other side, really wrap the muscles around the outside of that hip, lift the leg up, down through the toe, and back down. And then the other side. So my legs are brushing together. I'm thinking about my midline, lifting that leg up, lengthen through the crown of the head, melt through the foot, back down, and the other side, transferring that weight ever so slightly, trying to move only as much as you need to transfer the weight. And up. That's it. One more each side. And whether you're sitting down or standing, the next thing we're going to do is add arms to this movement. So you might have had enough doing it standing. You're welcome to sit down for the next set if you'd like. So you can lift up, opposite arm to leg. This is quite challenging, right? And imagine that armpit muscle connecting across to the opposite hip. Now I paused at the top there. That's a real balance challenge there. Up and you lift, your leg is at the right angle. Think about your armpit pulling across your body and back down. Pull it in, up, opposite arm to leg. That's it. And back down, melt through the foot and the other foot, melting up, lift. Think about getting taller. Really think about that leg. Stand on top of your leg. Leg is right under the pelvis, opposite arm to leg. That's it. Melt through the foot, back down. Last one. Good. And all the way down. Good. Just walk your feet a little bit. Just reset. That's it. Good. Have your knees slightly bent. Good. And then we're going to take the arms. We're going to bend the knees slightly, lift the arms up, straighten the legs. Arms go all the way above the head for a great big stretch. Lift through the waist. Inhale. Good. And then exhale. Arms come down slowly. Bend the knees. Inhale. Good. And straighten the legs, lift up. Good. All the way up. Breathing in. Good. And then arms come down, bend the knees. Bend again, up. Breathe it in. Filling up those lungs with air. Good. Down, bend the knees, arms down slowly, breathe in. And up. That's it, good. And come down. And come to standing. Good. All right. We're going to go make our way down to the mat. If you can't get out, who can't get down on their mat? A couple of you, that's okay. That's fine. Yeah, so you get your chair. So we're going to do some things where we're actually kneeling. Now, if anybody has knee troubles and they don't like kneeling, I'll show you the alternative with the chair. But if you've got a towel, your towel, or even if you have a mat and a carpet, one of the tricks to protect your knees is if you fold your mat up just a little bit, you can be here. Now, when we're on all fours, your wrists as well, you can come up on your fists, okay? The weight should be evenly distributed, so there shouldn't be too much weight on your wrists, but also you shouldn't be forward so your kneecaps are pressing down. The really even spacing of that. Now, if you're using your chair, you can still kneeling, right? Very similar position. You can hold on to the bottom seat of your chair. Again, make sure that your arm is underneath your shoulder, okay? Or you can hold up higher, all right? Or even here if you don't want to go forward that much. You can hold on to your thighs. All right. So making your way down onto all fours. Hands underneath the shoulders. I always spread my fingertips out. My middle finger is like at 12 o'clock, okay? And I'm really spreading my fingers out as wide as I can. Like here, my elbows are slightly bent. Breathe in. Good. Exhale, tuck your tail under, draw the ribs in, draw the rib cage up. Inhale. Good. Exhale and flat back out, wherever you are. That's it. Looking up. Breathe in. Exhale, tuck under, hips forward. Really stretching all the way through the sacrum, all the way through the low back, up the mid back, rib cage, shoulders, neck and head. Breathing in. Exhale. Unwind the spine. Opening up the chest. Looking out ahead of you without crunching through the back of the neck. Breathing in. Exhale and tuck under. Up on your fists if your hands don't like to be flat. You can also be on your forearms. It's a little bit more, don't get as much range of motion doing it there, but whatever feels comfortable for you. Good. Now we're going to do something called happy puppy. Come to a straight spine. We're going to look over one shoulder. So if you're looking over one shoulder, you want to swing your butt the same direction. So right now I'm taking my hip towards you, towards the camera, and I'm looking over my shoulder, called happy puppy. And you're trying to look at your butt. And then you come back to the middle and you look over your other shoulder, swing your bum around, and you're trying to look at your butt on the other side. Back to the middle, over the other shoulder. That's it. Good. Back to the middle. Good. And the other side. Back to the middle. Good. And over. Good. Now rounding up. Now, there's a few options here. We can go down into what they call in yoga child's pose. We call it a rest position, where you're sitting on your heels and you're stretching out. You can also do it with your arms bent if you have limitations in the shoulders. If your knees and hips don't like this, you can also come forward on your forearms. I call it the happy baby. You know, when you see babies sleeping in their cribs with their side. Now, there's also that option. So whatever's comfortable for you. If you want to bring your heels back, butt back towards your heels, you can. Okay, or you can be further forward onto your elbows. Okay. And if you're standing or sitting, yep, you can just bend forward and stretch. Stretch forward through your back, reaching from one side and the other side. Find sinking your breastbone down to the mat with your forehead on the mat. Really releases through the upper back and your neck. Okay. Just be careful to bend your elbows slightly and have your shoulders released a little bit. That's it. Good. And then coming all the way back up. Now we're going to make our way onto our backs. Okay. Now, if you're sitting, you're going to be sitting and going away from center line. We're going to do that lying on our backs. Some of us might need a towel or a pillow. Okay. So if you need something to elevate your head, because you don't want your head to be further falling back if you're quite thick in the body, right? Or head forward posture, you want to make sure that your head and your spine are aligned. So you might need it slightly elevated or perhaps not. Let's see how it works for you. Okay, so we're going to start with a few pelvic tilts. So if you're sitting on your chair, we've done this before, the arms out in front of you, and then we're tilting back and then sitting up. Lying down, you want to imagine that your pelvis like a clock, okay? Or you have a cup of tea between your pubic bone and belly button, okay? Elbows rest down. So just stay here for a minute, put your mind into your body, notice where your spine is resting on the mat. Take a breath in through your nose. And just notice where that breath moves to. And then breathe out either through your nose or your mouth. And just notice how your body just sinks a little bit deeper into the mat, or if you're sitting, how you just get a little bit heavier, a little bit more grounded through the legs and feet and hips sitting in the chair. So again, breathing in. And get a little heavier on the exhale. It's just noticing gravity. We're not pressing into anything consciously. And one more time, inhaling. Feel your tummy moving under your hands. Hold the breath at the top. And then a long exhale out. And then hold the breath out. And just breathe normal for a minute. Good. Now we'll go for the pelvic tilt. So if you'd like, you can have your thumbs together and your index finger pointing down and making a triangle. You have the palm of your hands on the pelvic bones here at the front. Thumbs are together under your belly button. Fingertips lay on top of your belly, pointing down on top of your pubic bone. From here, we're going to pull the tummy in and tilt. So when we're doing this, the pubic bone is above the belly button. So if you had a cup of tea, it'd be pouring into your navel. If you're sitting, that means you're tilting back like we've done before. Good. And then we're going back to that neutral position where the cup of tea is totally balanced, and then tilt the other way. So you're sticking your butt, tailbone a little bit into the mat. You may feel an arch, a bit of space between your back and the mat. And then back to neutral again, just letting gravity take you there. Using as little muscular action as possible. You're just tipping from one point to the other. Now we're flattening the back again, pubic bone above the belly button. Good, then back to neutral. That's it. And then tailbone down. Again, you can do this sitting, resting your hands on your thighs, tilting back, neutral, and then tucking under. So just in your own time, going from one position to the other. And then trying to melt each one into the next one. So you're still conscious of the 3 different movements, but they're now threaded together. That's it. Good. And then balance in the middle again. So we're not flattening and not arching. And imagine that tight seat belt going between the 2 pelvic bones in the front, holding that on. Bring your knees and feet together. Good. Arms down by your side. You're going to lift one leg, so left leg, right arm, up, hold it there, then we go away from center. And then back to the middle. Okay, we're going to do 6 on one side, then switch to the other side, and then out from center. And back in. That's it, open and feel the connection from the arm and through the core to the hip. So all the way through the body. The rest of the body is like a statue. It's not moving at all. Keeping anchored through both sides of the hips. Good, last one. Come back in, lower everything back down. And then the other side. So we're lifting up to the midline. Anchor. Imagine you're on a deli scale with your butt, right? So if you feel like the leg, that when you lift the leg up, that you're heavier on that hip, you've got to find those muscles to anchor you through the opposite side. And then we go away from center and then back in. Just breathing naturally, or coordinate the movement if that helps you, where you inhale as you go out and exhaling to come back in. Good. And last one. Back in. Good. Now we're going for the leg extension. So if you're sitting, we've done this before, right? Where you lift your leg up, you extend out, bend, and back down. People that are lying on the floor, again, you can have your hands here. So there's a bit of feedback on what's happening in your tummy core muscles, elbows down on the ground, shoulders back. So when you lift up, you want to reach that leg a lot out away from you so that the tummy stays in. It doesn't pop under your fingertips. You want to keep everything really drawn in. Then you pull the leg back in and back down, and then the other side. So we lift up. Sometimes exhaling here helps. And back down. Good. Breathing in. Exhale. Pull in underneath the fingertips and back down. Good. If you're sitting, kick it out. That's it. And back down. Good. Midline and extend and bend and back down. Good. And again. And extend and bend. One more each side. Good. And last one. Good. All right. Take your arms out to the side. Take your feet apart. If you're on a mat, near the edge of the mat, you're going to let your knees fall to the right. So they fall so that you look to the left. If you're sitting, you can do that gentle stretch we do where you're twisting one way and then the other way. If you want to freestyle and see if you can get your legs to do something like this, just in your own way, you can. And then back to the middle and then the other way. So you're looking the opposite direction to your knees. Good. And back to the middle. And then the other side, knees down, looking. And back to the middle. And one more time. And back to the middle. Bring your feet together again. And we'll try to do some chest lifts. Now, if you're sitting, you can do the rolling back a little bit further to challenge your abdominals. Again, notice where your pelvis is. So when you're lifting up, you want to keep this nice and straight. You want to rest your head in your hands like a bowling ball. So the back of the arms, armpits are pulling down. You want to support the weight of the head in your hands, okay? If you have a tendency to pull on your head, you might want to try then with your arms straight, pick your head up, keep the tailbone down, try not to strain the neck, and then back down. So just notice what is most comfortable for you. Breathe in, lengthen through the back of the neck. Exhale, pick your head and shoulders up, breastbone back, tummy on, tailbone down. And lengthen back down. And exhale. Tongue on the roof of the mouth. You tend to strain the neck. And up. That's it. If you're sitting, you're just rolling back. And try curling up, then stretching your arms long, lifting up a little higher, feeling the armpit pull down towards the hips, hands behind the head, and back down. Good. Exhaling up and stretch. Lift. Hands and back down. And reach. Hands. Good. Last one. And reach. Down and rest. Good. Arms down by your side. Let gravity take your head to one side. So you're turning your head over to the right. Relaxing into the stretch. Relax your shoulders. Notice any tension. Just breathe that tension out. Good. Bringing your head back to the middle. Good. And turning your head to the other side. You can do this sitting, of course, just looking over your shoulders. That's it. Good. Back to the middle. And over to the other side. Good. Back to the middle. Good. And over to the other side. That's it. Back to the middle. And just do a little head nod. So just drawing your chin in a little bit. Gentle. So you feel a gentle stretch. That's it. Good. Now we're going to lay down on our sides. Now for the people that can't get down on the mat, this is similar to what we're doing when we're standing up, holding onto the chair. So we're going to lie down on the side, pick a side. We're going to do both, so whatever. But if you're sitting or unable to lie down, it's these ones, right? Where we go like that. Or when we're doing clams, you can turn the leg out and follow us along doing that. That's also an option with those. It's handy if you have a mat to line yourself up to a wall. If you need something, I find it can be helpful to get your head in alignment if you've got a pillow or a towel between your arm and your head, right? But I've brought my arm really far back, right? So it's like I'm on a line there. I don't want it to interfere with the sound, so I don't think I'm going to use that because I think it's rustling around. So we're here now. I don't know if you can see light through there, but I've picked up my rib cage, pushing my pelvis away from my armpit. My heels are together and my hips are stacked. So one hip is directly on top of the other one, lengthening out. My heels are squeezing together. These are called clams. And I'm opening up. So I really want to open that door. So the hinges are the heels squeezing and the butt drawing in, but my pelvis stays totally still. And then you can control down. Heels squeeze together to lift leg, keeping the core on, and then back down. Yeah, some of us don't like our arms up like this. If we have shoulder problems, you can bring your arm like this. Just make sure you have something under your head. That's also an option for you. That's it. Five more. 3, control it both ways. Feel that grabbing deep in your butt. And last one. I'm going to keep the bottom leg bent, bring it forward. So this is the one we do standing, right? And again, hike your hip up. See what that feels like. Then reach it long, like you've just got really long. I've got a big space. So this is the corner of my shoulder blade through my ribs and down. It doesn't stay that way, but I stretch it out. I'm going to bend my knee slightly, pointing my toe down to the ground. If you're standing, you're just keeping your legs straight like we normally do, but you're going to lift just in line with the body here and then down. So no higher. There you go. That's it. And you can push down with the leg that's on the ground. And this leg is at a right angle. 4. So both have its challenges, whether you're standing or lying down. Position and technique alignment is everything. Good. 2. And last one. Good. Rest it down, bring it forward. Give yourself a little massage through there. Maybe tap down through the outside of your leg. Good. While we're here, we're going to do a book opening, which you can do standing as well. So we're going to one hand on top of each, the other, head resting on your top hand, past the bottom hand. Good. Book openings, it's called, and then open up. So you're just doing a little bit of a twist. Slide that bottom shoulder forward. Exactly. Yeah. Breathing in. Good. And forward. So if you're standing, you just keep one arm stretching straight in front of you, and then you go across. Yeah. And then open up, sliding that bottom shoulder forward. I like using my bottom arm as a little bit of leverage to get a little bit more of a twist. Last one. Breathing in, reach it forward, slide it across the lower hand, open from the middle of the chest, turning your head to look at the arm that's stretching open towards the back, away from your knees. That's it. And close. Perfect. And we'll switch sides. Lying down, stretching out. Get your body in a straight line, as straight as you can, with your arms straight if that's comfortable, or tucking in with a pillow under your head. Pelvis reaches long away from the armpit. Hand is here, shoulders down, so you're lifting. You can use a little pressure there. Heels squeezed together and you're lifting up. So feel the squeeze of the heel, get your alignment going. Pelvis is nice and straight here. Control it down. Squeeze the heel and lift. And up. And lift. That's it. And you feel that drawing back into the socket right here in your bottom. Two more. And last one. Keep the bottom leg bent, bring it forward so your shin is parallel with the front of the mat. The knee is at a right angle. Stretch leg out. This is in line with the body. You want to make that leg a little bit longer. Make it lifted underneath you for a minute there. You bend the knee slightly, toe down, flex the foot. Okay. I call it the underpant muscle. So if you find your waist and then you go a little bit lower where that big ball and socket joint is, that muscle there we're trying to get to work, right? Up and down. That's it. And if you're standing, yeah, hold on for balance if you need to, and your leg will be straight, not bent. Good. Two more. And last one. Good. And bend that leg onto the top. Give yourself a little tap through there on the outside of the leg, a little self-massage. And then we go for book openings. So sliding the top hand past the bottom hand. Get your pillow or towel there to support your head if you need it. Reach. Cross that arm. Slide that bottom shoulder towards the front of your mat. Yeah, and you're trying to bring your breastbone around both arms, nice and wide, opening. Breathing in. And breathe out. And close. Good. Two more. Breathe in. Just in your own time, luxuriate in the stretch. Open it up. Slide that bottom shoulder forward. Relaxing into it. Breathe in and close. The last one. And opening up. Good. And closing it open. That's it. Come up to sitting. Now, if we're standing, so we're going to go here. We're going to have one leg bent just because it's a little bit easier. But if you are standing, we can do a stretch of the inner thigh. Again, I'll do it this way, right? But you can stretch out like this, or you can sit as well. We've done it sitting before, where you're here, right? And stretching one side and then the other side, okay? That's also a possibility for you. For those of us that are on the ground, on the floor, go again. Not doing a dance on me. Okay, we're gonna have one leg in. If your leg, one of the ways to protect your knee, if you don't have any problem already, you can flex your foot, right? That takes a bit of pressure out of the knee. You can also, use something like a pillow or towel to elevate it, right? If it doesn't like it, or keep it a little more straight, if that's better for you. So you just work out what it is you need. Okay, in. So that leg's out to the side, holding on, sitting up tall, and flex the foot and point. Left and point. That's it. If you're standing, you're kind of going into the stretch and then down into the stretch. That's it. And then we're going to swap sides. So you pull that leg in, then the other one, adjust yourself the way you need to. Another thing that might help is if you fold up a towel or have a pillow and you put it under your bottom. That can also help you balance a little bit more if you tend to be a little bit stiff. That's it. point the foot and flex. That's it. Yeah, it really does help to have a pillow or a towel to go under that hip that doesn't want to sit on the ground. Makes all the difference. Good. All right, sitting cross-legged if you can, or sitting on your chair as well. We're going to do some side stretching and twisting. So sitting on your chair is also completely fine. We've done that a lot before. You can also do it standing. So you're sitting up nice and tall. Nice big breath out. Arms out to the side, breathing in. Exhale, hand down, over. For balance, if you're sitting, you can cross your hand over, or you can have your hand down on the mat here with me. Chest open to the front, reaching out through the crown of the head, keeping the bottom hip anchored into the ground. And then coming up, arms out to the side, other side, elbows bend. That's it. Reaching long. Good, up. And then the other side, reach. And up again. Breathe in. And side bend over. And up. One more each side, up and over. Now we're going to come up and we're going to twist. So we're going to take our hand on the outside of the knee there. Hand is tenting out behind you. The fingertips are tented up, pulling up and twisting around, trying to bring that breastbone and belly button with you, looking over your shoulder, keeping weight even on both cheeks. Good. Unwind and the other way. Hand on the outside, tent your fingertips out the other way, looking over your shoulder. Good, and unwind face front, and then the other way around. And on the outside of the knee, looking over. Good, unwind, other way. Hands on the knees, come face front, round back, just stretching out back. And do a little twisting one way and then the other, like you're massaging your back up. Now we're going to do a hip stretch that we do sitting, but you can do it also seated. This is quite strong doing it here. This is what it looks like sideways. Of course, we've done it sitting in the chair, which is less intense. Okay, you can also do it lying down, like a figure 4 stretch too, right? With this, where you've got one ankle in the opposite knee, and then you hold on behind your thigh. So there's that option as well, usually with a pillow under your head, or like we normally do, sitting in the chair. Just sitting up and being here, that's probably the most challenging one. For most of us, and then swap to the other side. Yeah, don't force it. If that's not comfortable doing it that way, this is totally fine as well. Lying down, holding on behind your thigh, or sitting. Yeah. That's it. And then release. Give yourself a little stretch, however you like. Do a few little shoulder rolls to finish off. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next week.